Greetings. Joining us. All right, it's the early broadcast. Finally got it work. Probably felt like doing it a little bit sooner than later. So I'll be answering questions after this. So this is higher dimensions, instant manifestation, aquatic beings, and insectoids. I haven't done any of those for a while now. Fritzy's here to be a disruptor. Hopefully, which doesn't mess around too much here. Okay, I'm going to. I think I'm the same as it was yesterday. So, I got the answer at sciencetalk.com. Private sessions, shop here. I think I'm on the 22nd. Same situation here. I have a webinar tomorrow, social network, behind the scenes, and university. Okay. What? She wants to jump up here. Hopefully she doesn't do that. I'm not sure if I can do this with her on my lap. I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, so. All right. Higher dimensions, instant manifestation. Yeah, that just came to mind. If you're wondering where that came from, that's not something I was just sitting around all day thinking about that. No, and aquatic beings, I haven't connected them in ages. Well, I guess recently because of the ocean energies, but and insectoids, it's been a long time for those guys. So I haven't done much. What? Here, come here. Yeah. I don't know if she wants to go on a chair. There. But she's involved somehow. Nice. Yeah, my chair is shot. I'm not sure what she's trying to do there. Oh, well. She probably wants to jump on the thing. Great. Great. Plotting. I should get down. Yeah. Oh, the other one's there now. That's Priscilla. So one left and the other one showed up. So where you been? Okay. Feeling entertainment. We'll just leave her up there. And okay, she's leaving now. All right. Okay. All right, I got that over. Okay, all right. Blessings. Here we go. Greetings, we are higher conscious beings. Well, we are a collective of many higher dimensional beings. We do come from the sixth dimension. We can come higher, but sixth dimension should be well enough. So yes, there's many still wondering what they want. So you realize people are saying they want one thing, but then something else happens instead. Or they think they know what they want, and yes, there's a lot of that going on. And that is instant manifestation. Yeah, you might manifest something you don't want, at least thought you didn't want, but ends up working out for you in the long run. So yeah, so many have their manifestation calendars and all of that, but they're not always realizing what they brought into their life. And you can even manifest your parents, of course, as many have. And yes, there's a sometimes yes people manifest misery for various different reasons for soul growth. Uh, there's many obviously different things that are manifested here. Well, it's like, what do you do with it when you have it? Yeah, especially the relationship energies are difficult to heal. Yes, it can take years to go into those energy fields to truly, yes, release a relationship or bring one in. Especially if one is actually stuck with you for such a long time, it's hard to bring a new one into your lifespan. Another thing about productivity or a direction in life, some are still trying to figure what that is. What's happening now is just not always it's not always more exciting. It is currently happening. It just a lot of it's to build up for the future. So it's not always going to make itself completely clear instantly. Such as your alien races. Yes, your alien races have to work behind the scenes. They would, yes, easily come into your reality, but there's others that don't want them here. So you're finding other ways to connect. It's another way of forcing, well, you can call it forcing yourselves to open up more internally to connect to the beings that are here. Trust them or not, they are there no matter what. So it's another lesson for the earth. Yes, of course, many might have difficulties with that, but it is that's where you're at. You're well, it's the earth has been so physical for so long, and yes, there's been spiritual developments, but now you're going to more spiritual energy. A lot of that's opening up the body for spiritual experiences to actually increase itself on many levels. So this all actually makes sense in the long run. Some might disagree with it, but of course, hardships are not always agreed upon. And there's all these different scenarios you connect with, meaning there's trillions of different realities. So not everyone's reality is going to fit into each other. So instant manifestation is already happening now. It's just that it's not always recognized as that, or is this how can I unmanifest this? But it's there for a reason. And discovering that reason can either help develop it or let it go. So some have manifested marriages they don't want. But it's not what's on the outside. Yes, it's what's in the inside. Obviously, men don't see it that way. So there's just a lot of humanity is so surface driven, soul driven. Is difficult to translate that to anyone. Meaning, on a spiritual level, everything makes sense. So like on an astral level, you can connect to whomever easily without going into details of that. So it's just a physical level. It has its rules, its boundaries, and it's difficult to live it because in astral realms, you usually do whatever you want for the most part. It's different for everybody. But in the physical, it has specific lessons there, specific connections here, especially souls that have to heal themselves for various different reasons. Because your earth is going into more of a peaceful time. It might not seem that way currently, but it is actually clearing out a lot of the old, yes, countless belief systems that have been holding on to earth for such a long time. It is basically for instant reality to come through. Yes, is to be, but also to understand what is around you. Why is it all there? And yes, you're brought to it for a certain reason, especially if understanding those that are brought into your life. There's usually a deeper meaning behind it. It might not always show itself, clearly. A lot of times, it's just ties that have not been healed. Meaning, there's been meaning that you might connect with someone that you haven't known for a very long time that you had there to heal the wounds of the past. That's not always clear. So it's just, and that can also go for friendships, relationships, or just family, of course. Family is the most vicious one, of course. Well, it can be. For many, well, those that want to make a difference here, yes, you have difficult, uh, you know, growing up in the family. Usually, the more difficult, the more you're here to do, especially if it's life threatening or abusive in any level. You're actually integrating into the Earth's energy even stronger. You might not want to be there, but there's always going to be some kind of challenge here, no matter how people want to look at it. There's going to be some form of challenge. And yes, with nature, it's on how you look at it. It's just basically freeing the mind of all these programs. And yes, you can live a life of bliss, even if the world is in complete chaos. And that is actually a large achievement there. Doesn't mean you have to rub it in anyone's face or anything like that, but it's your vibration to share with others that they can connect to your energies and do the same for themselves. And that's where you're going into more of a time of connecting to your higher purpose, no matter how spooky the world becomes as it starts to derail itself. It doesn't mean that's part of your reality. If that's not affecting you, that's not your reality. Yes, maybe on the same world, but it doesn't mean that what others are going through has to happen to you. They're trying to manifest that for you, but you just say, no, I'm not doing that. And that become more clear in your school systems also. When spiritual development becomes more clear, because right now spiritual development doesn't exist. There is a form of it, but it's mostly physical. Well, they show you a physical book, but why not a spiritual? Why don't you just connect to your own energy fields there instead? That's actually more potent there. There's just a lot more going on. Especially when you see, yes, reptilian beings in the same room or whoever it might be that's joining you in another reality. Because they're warning too. You don't just have students physically there, you have students and the non-physical. And sometimes that could be in the hundreds, depending on how deep you want to look into that one. So, what we see in your world, timing is not clear because humanity is not manifesting a more clear reality, not at this time. Well, because it has to go through what it needs to go through. It doesn't mean everyone has to go through, but some need to. But there will be a time where soul understanding will become more clear. When the soul is talked about, it's not perfect. Nothing's ever perfect. Many are, yes, longing to discover who they are. Well, yeah, you remember lifetimes on other realms when things are happier. And you can remember that. Some might break out crying. It's like, what am I doing on this world? I feel lonely here. But that is to heal that loneliness while you are here. Let's see. Greetings to you. We are the fish consciousness. We do have much conversations with our human race. We are similar to the trees. We are of the sea. Yes, we swim around, but we're also part of your growth. Doesn't mean that, yes, fish are normally consumed. Well, because you can't consume a tree as many would like to. You're not really built for that. You can get into tree energies. Imagine if you actually ate a tree. You feel so just enlightened. Well, some always. Obviously can't do that. But for fish, that'll have to make up for that. So those that consume fish, you actually connect to the energies of it. It's not just that you're consuming for food, but you're also, it's a part of a cleanse. Some might disagree. They don't want to do that. And that's quite fine, but it's not for everyone. Some need it. Well, eventually they find out what they are. I mean, there's So, especially like meat eaters that are heavy meat eaters, it's part of what they've been through here. They just there to relieve stress. There's many different reasons behind it, and it is medical actually. Some can go overboard. Yeah, some have been in starvation lifetimes. That's why so many consume so much weight. There's other reasons behind that. But connecting more to your peaceful self is more of those that don't have to consume a lot of food. Those that are consuming a lot of food is that they're just losing their minds, most likely. Most likely stress eating, but just if it wasn't that, it would be drugs or something, or yeah, or violence. Well, it's just violence. They're very healthy looking and they're violent as hell. So, would you rather that or just have a food addiction? You can choose. So, yeah, there's a lot of, at least that's what's going on right now. Those, yeah, they don't have an eating disorder, yeah, they call it an eating disorder. Those are at more of a finer fit. Have and you need that energy here to help those that are not doing well, which are many. And as many did go through a lot of starvation here in the past. They're still here, even if they had a recent lifetime, like in the 1920s, or many are from the 1920s that went through starvation are here currently. Not to relive it, to heal it. Like if you died unnaturally when things are just where nothing was working out for you, you're going to come back, maybe consume a lot, but eventually heal that energy field. So many that are here, I believe some already know this, but we'll just throw it out there anyway. Many that are here are going like through a lot of challenges. Yeah, they didn't get to finish their lives. Either they died in war or starvation or executed, whatever it was. Most likely they lived a half a life. Doesn't mean it's all from the 1920s. It could be from the 40s. It could be from the 60s and on. But that's what's that's why some are they're going through like once again weight problems, and then they finally clear it out because they're finally releasing that lifetime that's been haunting them for such a long time, whatever it might be. And those that have been through domestic abuse from previous lifetimes, even as a child, usually they find it again until they're ready to release it. And some of them are like finally fit people that can't get their act together. And of course, there are some princesses here that are manipulating society more than anything. Then, yeah, they're wondering where their mansion is. It's gone. All those luxury items are gone. Yes, you wasted it all too. Usually that's the case, not always. There are some that actually do good things and they receive good things also. You can have wealth and do it well and receive it again. Because if you had wealth in a lifetime and you're just giving to others and you just had a good vibration, you served it well, so you can do it again if you want to. So that's why people aren't always rich. That's not always what they want to experience. They have other things to do. Yeah, just a lot of deep dives on different levels. So, as aquatic beings, yes, well, you can say we hear everything, but not every. I mean, we feel the vibrations. We know that if we need to reproduce more or less, or we know our fate already. It's not that we're like oblivious. We know exactly. We want to get caught. We want to be eaten also. We know what that process. We know what humans need. If we get wasted, it doesn't matter. A lot of us reincarnate again. We leave, come back. So there are like fragmental soul energies here. So some of you that are connected to the oceans, lakes, rivers, seas, you can most likely connect to sea life, whatever it might be. Could be. It doesn't have to be just a fish. It could be anything. Crabs. Crabs are. They're not crabby. Well, they guess they can be. Well, they're. Some of those are, yes, warriors of the sea. At least at one time. Now they're just, I mean, even they're handling themselves. You'd be surprised how many ocean wars are out there in other universes. Come here to be a crab's like, always I'm still a warrior, even if I'm just walking around not doing anything. Well, I'm not doing anything too productive. Yeah, think about worlds that are just, think about your whole world under the ocean. Your news, everything. What would that life feel like? Yeah, your wars, everything under the sea, everything. You can live inside of a bay, or if you need to breathe, air that you're breathing out, that's fine. But still realize the ocean, yeah, your world is far. Your sea, your ocean, your yeah, has a lot of that from the universe. There are ocean worlds out there are actually healing themselves here. They go through the chaos of this place. Yes, you only get a fraction, maybe less than that, of what's going on out there. So yeah, all these animal beings are just here to kind of relax. I mean, they're bringing their stuff here. I mean, everyone's healing here. You wouldn't think so, but actually they are. Because this place is chaotic. Yeah, it's more chaotic out there, actually. Out in your universe, it's more chaotic. This world is, the chaos is here, but it's still, not as exciting as it is out there. It's not exciting in here for a reason, to calm everything down. So us aquatic beings, yes, you feel free to connect to us telepathically. We are always there to just read your thoughts if you want us to. Usually we're just there to say hi. We don't really have anything. We don't usually go too deep. People aren't really ready for that. They have a conversation with a fish for 2 hours. Some might be ready for that. If you can sustain conversation like that. That's just... Greetings. We are the mantis. Yes, there's a lot of us around your world. We're not normally going into details of our existence here. The ant people were part of, yes, many civilizations being created. Yes, under control. Yes. Some of you have started to remember that frequency level. Yes, you can say it becomes animated because it's not something you would normally see. Oh, but it can be. So your fiction realm, your movies, TV, obviously it's designed in a way, yes, thrown in your face a lot. Some ignore it, but it's thrown out there to let you know what's going on in the universe. Yes, to awaken your Earth for disclosure. It's not necessarily to program. Yes, there's some of that, but a lot of it's actually there to get you to start a conversation, start new conversations. And I believe many of you are doing that are kind of bizarre, which is good. Where you're going out into the universe's energy. You're connecting to, like, some of you, I imagine you want to say something to people, but you can't. Even those awakened aren't always ready to hear what you have to say. It can get a little strange out there, can't it? That's your essence. That's what you are. It doesn't mean you can interact with everyone the same. There's a lot of diversity here, extreme diversity. And even obviously in the universe, or galaxy, we'll just make it easier. The galaxies here are a lot of them don't want to hear either. I mean, yes, they're more aware of different connections, but not everybody knows everything. There's still a lot, because you can incarnate in an alien world and be like a chameleon. You can also appear, disappear. And that race of people was like, we didn't even know that even existed. So you're always here to bring something new. So that's why you're all here, to bring a different reality. And of course, it's going to be a clash of ideas. Um, well, we feel there's not enough strangeness here. There's some, there could be more. You deserve more open mindedness, yes. And that's when you connect to alien frequency levels. Basically, this is how you open up portals and dimensions when you just go beyond what your normal beings hold. And many of you are doing that, but you can actually feel a portal energy because you have certain words, certain phrases that can open up another reality around you, actually. Well, this is something to get used to. You just be yourselves. It's like you contact when you're being yourself and you integrate with yourself. Like you're being more authentic. Doesn't mean you're not authentic now, but you're allowing it more to come more out. And you feel other realms around you. Guess that might be a little bit much for some. Doesn't mean you're going to leave the planet anytime soon, something like that. But you're here to let others know they can do beyond what is done here. That has already been seen. We're not saying anything new to you, we don't believe. A reminder of where you're heading into in due time. So so a lot of this primitive energy here on your planet is necessary. It's like a ground. It's like they keep to the basics. And that basic energy is not necessarily a bad thing. Yes, it's difficult. It's going through what it needs to go through. But it allows you to ground yourself and allow you to be what you are. Just continue to let you be what you need to be. And the world will be what it needs to do. So it's like you're planting your seed here, you can say. Yeah, you become more authentic to yourself. Some are like lying to themselves or not always ready to see how much further you can go. Yes, there's psychic abilities, but there's much more to it than that. There's so much more. You can't always bring it into conversation. But the souls don't always trust themselves either, their abilities, even if you are connected to your own essence, there's so much more. Yes, this is a deeper realm. Well, you want to connect to your universe, you can through yourself. Now, many don't do this because the world isn't quite ready yet. It's like, you can do it, but it's time. That's different. It's like, you can activate yourself more, but you need to go through this earth process. You need to do what you need to do here. But many people are not ready where they can even do that. They can just shift their vibration to, see other realms, realities, and so on. Reason why many don't do it is, they're doing the earth process. But so imagine more will start to open up those frequency connections. This is how, and what matters is the individual, yes, yourself, your others that are up to it. As insectoid beings, we're, always observing, but we don't observe everything. We do instantly feel when your earth goes through a lot of turmoil, we instantly feel it. When it goes through positive energies, we get healed by it. So yes, there's a lot of alien movement, but actually nothing like what you have here. At least the thought patterns of the human is it's immense. You might not feel like you're moving around too much physically, but the mind is all over the place. For most of you.